Oh man. All right. I see we have Muhammad from Dallas is the next caller. Okay,
Oh,
Dallas in the building.
let's
It's your
go.
neighbor league.
Let's go.
Dallas. What do you want to talk about, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I wanted to shout y'all out first of all, man. Nick of Time show. I've been watching for a minute, been subscribed for a while. First time calling in, but I just wanted to shout y'all out, Jay Ellis and the panelists. Really appreciate what y'all do for the Knicks fans, keeping us the most relevant fans in basketball.
Absolutely,
For shows like
absolutely.
this, man. So I really
Oh,
appreciate it.
Appreciate the
Yeah,
love, man.
definitely hit that like, thumbs up, everybody in the chat. Couple things I wanted to discuss first. Shout out to Julius, man. He's been holding us down all season.
Yeah.
One of the panelists said he was on that apology tour, and I'm on the tour with you because
We
I was
all
ready
is,
to
man.
get him out of. I was ready to drive him to the bus stop myself, man, and put him on the next Greyhound. But he's definitely having. He could, man. Can you get most improved twice? Like, is that possible?
Can we what?
He's like another. Can you get most improved player twice?
That's
He's
a
like
great
that.
question.
He's like the most improved. As bad as he was last year.
He definitely deserves it.
Yeah, well, shout out to him. Brunson, I feel like is a little lackadaisical lately. Um, he's been great for us. Now, I call him the run stopper. Like he changes the flow of the game. Anytime the other team is on a run or something,
That's a
you
good.
always give Brunson the ball. He can make that right play to stop the flow of the game. But
I
at
like
the
that.
end, he just really hasn't lived up to his. I know he's clutch. He's clutch like in the last 5 minutes. In the last 1 minute, he's been coming up short, and it's been surprising to me. So I'm really waiting for him to have that big New York moment where he like hits the game winner or actually, wins us a game. He's won us games throughout the game, but like exactly at the end, he's come up a little short. So
I agree.
I feel like there's he's got some more to do here in New York. Last thing is I wanted to talk about with RJ and why Tibbs insists on having him run the second unit. You know what I mean? Like he's acting like he's a Jordan Clarkson or some kind of microwave off the. Not that he comes off the bench, but you have that one player who kind of commands the second unit, like how Derrick Rose used to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
He wants it to be RJ so bad, and all we do is just pick and roll on with RJ. And then when RJ gets in the lane, he's one of the most inefficient players at the rim. And so, like our second unit, led by RJ, is looking really bad to me. So I'm wondering why doesn't he just like kind of stagger that and let it be Brunson or Randle out there at all times instead of having RJ be the one to run the second unit. He's the most inefficient player on the team probably. So I
Right.
think we really need to fix that situation. And if we could find a stretch big to go along with, either get right, even though Hartenstein
Mobamba.
had a great game. Yeah. So this is the wrong night to talk. Well, I don't know about Mobamba, but it's the wrong night to talk about Hartenstein because he had a good game. But
Right.
if we could get actual stretch big and find something better than RJ to run that second unit, I think we got a chance to really be good this season and just build upon it, man. Again, shout out to y'all. If you want to touch on how y'all feel about that second unit being ran with RJ, I'd love to hear what you got to say.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man, shout out to y'all. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Great call. Thank you, man.
5-star call. Now it's representing.
Yes. Yes, sir. I'll let y'all. I have my thoughts, but I can let y'all go at it.
Well, I'll say this with in regards to RJ playing with the second unit. I think the reason why Thibs does that is because when RJ starts the game, he starts with Brunson and Randle, and Brunson and Randle are two ball dominant players, so RJ doesn't get as much touches when he's on the court with Brunson and Randle. So I think what Thibs try to do is, I think that's his way of trying to get RJ in rhythm, because when he's out there with the second unit, he becomes the primary. He becomes the primary scorer, and that's the way to get RJ into the game more and get his rhythm. And I think that's why Thibs probably does that, as opposed to like staggering minutes and keeping Brunson out there, or staggering minutes and keeping Randle out there.
Yeah. And I'll say this is one of those situations where if you're trying to absolutely win the game, I can say, oh yeah, stagger minutes with Brunson and Randle was the second unit. But if you're going long term, I want to groom RJ to be better playmaker, better decision maker, be a better leader. Then you put him out there with that second unit and have him be the leader that way and have him grow that way. Since there's like two other alphas within the first unit. You know what I mean? So I get the sentiment for people. 'Cause I've seen Tom Beer say this a lot. Stagger the minutes with Randle and Brunson with the second unit, and not just have RJ out there. And I get it, it does make sense. We actually do perform better with those lineups, but I also just like the idea of giving RJ the touches to just get better over the course of the season. Yeah.
I feel like that second unit, the way it's constructed, skill set wise, doesn't do RJ any favors. It's really bad spacing. Who's the only one who can hit a three in a second unit? IQ. It's like Deuce McBride, Isaiah Hartenstein, who's a fake stretch five.
Hey, Obi out here killing it from three. Let's go, Obi.
Yeah. Obi, but Obi plays 10 minutes. So I'm not even going to include Obi as part of the bench unit. He's like third string, unfortunately. But I think that second unit was built a little bit more around RJ's skill set, and that can happen through this trade deadline. Package these players that aren't playing, like Cam Reddish, Fournier, and Rose, and get some guys in here that can utilize and strengthen RJ's weaknesses and strengths. Then I think he can be a better leader. But right now, you're asking him to do a lot with a little. I mean, what you expect him to go out there and cook with the spacing that McBride and Jared Sims gives you? It's asking the impossible. So Tibbs ain't doing him no favors unless at some point Grimes returns to the bench. Now he's in that second unit, then we were talking about a different story. But right now, it's really hard on RJ trying to go out there and cook with like super limited spacing.
Yeah. It's one of those things, though, is like, am I going to kill Tibbs for playing McBride? Because we want to play the bench more, and you got to go through those growing pains of playing the bench. So it's like it's a catch-22 situation with that. You know what I mean? Because I like the fact that McBride is getting minutes, even though he hasn't been the best this whole time. Because we have asked to play the bench and play through the growing pains, and then sometimes it's just not pretty when it's just not pretty all the time. But this is kind of a good segue, though. This is a good segue to Knicks trade rumors.